Daniel stared at the old wooden box for several seconds. His father had only said one thing before dying: never open it. That warning stayed in Daniel's mind for years. But now, standing alone in his late father's dark apartment, he could not ignore the box anymore. Rain hit the windows softly. The apartment smelled like dust and old books. Daniel slowly pulled the box from the top shelf of the closet. His hands trembled. The box was heavier than he expected. There was no lock, only scratches, old scratches, as if someone had tried to open it many times before. Daniel swallowed nervously. Then he lifted the lid. A cold blue light suddenly appeared inside the box. Daniel stepped back in shock. Inside, there were several old photographs, a rusty key, and an old cell phone. The phone screen was on. One message appeared on the screen. One new voicemail. Daniel frowned. That's impossible. The phone was at least 20 years old. Slowly, he picked it up. The voicemail had arrived only 2 minutes earlier. Daniel's heart started beating faster. He pressed play. For a moment. Only static. Then, a woman's voice whispered, "If Daniel finds this, tell him the truth." Daniel froze. He had never heard that voice before. But the woman sounded emotional, almost afraid. The message suddenly ended. Daniel looked through the photographs quickly. Most of them were old family pictures. But then he found something strange. One photograph showed his father, standing beside a young woman with dark hair. They were smiling together. The woman was holding a baby. Daniel turned the photo around. On the back, someone had written, "Summer 1998. Daniel's breathing became heavier. He was born in 1998. He looked again at the woman's face. He had never seen her before. Or had he? Something about her eyes felt familiar. Very familiar. Suddenly, thunder shook the apartment. The lights flickered. Daniel grabbed another photograph. This time, the woman was alone. And beside her was the same wooden box. Daniel felt cold. He immediately picked up the voicemail again and replayed it. "If Daniel finds this, tell him the truth." Then another sound appeared at the end of the message. A man's voice. His father's voice, angry. "Stop recording." The voicemail ended abruptly. Daniel stared at the phone in disbelief. His father had lied to him. His entire life. Daniel rushed to the kitchen and opened an old drawer where his father kept documents. He searched desperately. Bills, old letters, newspapers. Then finally, he found a small envelope hidden beneath a book. His name was written on it. Daniel. His hands shook as he opened the envelope. Inside was a letter. The paper was old and yellow. He began reading. "Daniel, if you are reading this, I probably failed to protect the truth. The woman in the photographs is your mother. She never abandoned you. I told you that story because I was afraid. Afraid you would leave me too." Daniel stopped breathing for a moment. His eyes filled with tears. All his life, he believed his mother disappeared willingly. But it was a lie. He continued reading. "She tried to come back for you many times. I never allowed it." Daniel slowly lowered the letter. Rain continued outside. The apartment suddenly felt smaller, quieter, lonelier. Then the old cell phone vibrated again. Daniel nearly dropped it. Another voicemail. New message. This time, the woman's voice was clearer. Older. That's weak, but clear. Daniel. A long pause followed. Then she whispered, I tried to come back for you. The message ended. Daniel stood completely still in the darkness, holding the phone. They're staring at the old photographs, finally understanding the secret hidden inside the box